Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. As usual, my name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. As usual, we're going to put a few things in this video, and we're going to start off down here. Usually, if you're new here, basic preparedness, then medium, and then it's a journey that we're all on. Yes, yes. So for the basic one, I'm going to start with be careful where you get your information. And that is to include me. I've mentioned it before. I'm just a guy in the garage. Yes, with a cell phone. So, but in this case, I was watching a video and it was someone questioning the logic, and I've seen it before on a 72-hour bag or a get out bag, bug out bag, or get out of Dodge bag, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's what FEMA, the Red Cross, your local state agencies recommend. And it's a bag a lot of times, or it's a kit. Sometimes it's in totes for 3 days. And there's lists and you can get them off the internet. We've gone over them before. Yes? Yes. Now, I don't know why when people talk about this, the prepper people, when they get up here, they normally call them like bug out bags or 72-hour bags or get out of Dodge bags. They got all these names for them. It's emergency preparedness. It's just referred to as a kit. And usually they're for 3 days. And these are not the ones like when you're staying in your house. When you're staying in your house, they're talking about emergency and food and the such. Now they're talking about 2 weeks. I actually read a report just 2 days ago about that, where it used to be 3 days and now they're doing 2 weeks. Some are doing longer, but that's where the official line is. Whether you like the official line or not, it doesn't matter. But referring to the bug out bags or 72-hour bags, and the video was about, well, it's not going to do you any good to grab it and you're not going to survive. And usually, I don't know why, they always think, well, you're just going to run out and survive in the woods somewhere. Yes? Yes. Now, in the beginning, that's not what they're for, okay? What they're for is if you have to leave your house, if you have to evac, that you can grab this quickly. It is about speed sometimes. And there is food and some water and a little food and toiletries and some money and important paperwork and the such. That is where it starts at. And then people build it up and they just think that people are like right here about, we're going to go out and survive in the streets or anarchy. And then they go to, we're going to survive in the woods from the zombie. I don't get that. But you'll see it out there. And that's what you need to be careful for. Don't let them put out your fire. You need, my recommendation is you need to have an emergency kit, or you can call it a 72-hour bag or a bug out bag or whatever you want to call it. Because I have had to evac because of hurricanes. I have had to evac because of ice storms. I have had to evac for other reasons and phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. And I bet those people that are back in Ohio where that train is, a lot of them had to evac too. Yes, yes. So whatever information you get, please be careful where you get it. Like I said, including me. Use, what was it? I saw something where people were like, why do people outsource common sense and outsource their logical thinking to somebody like me? Don't outsource your logic or your common sense to me. Okay, I don't tell you what to do. I give you some information. We talk about it here, one-sided, yes, I know. And the whole point of this, and I've made no secret about it, is for you to think. I want you to think. Yes, because I don't know where you are. We've gone over this before, guys. Where you are, who you are, what you're doing. I don't know these things. But I would like everyone to think, because I would want as many people as that can be prepared are prepared. Yes, yes. Okay, we're going to move up just a little bit. And this has got to do with, I don't know if my video is going to get trash for this. I don't know the algorithm thing, but I'm going to use the word war. So right now there's a conflict, and it's been going on for almost a year. As a matter of fact, in a few days, they're going to have a celebration. There's going to be a speech, and it's the 1-year anniversary of when this conflict started, or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. I don't care. But yeah, and with that, I think I just saw it again today. It's like 2 days in a row that aircraft have been chased away from Alaska, made contact with like bombers or fighters or whatever. Okay, for those of you that know what my previous life was, I can tell you this. It happens a lot more than you think it does. And there was a time it was happening all the time. It was no big deal. You're picking up what I'm laying down? Them coming and buzzing and us guys going and buzzing them off. All the time. All the time. Yes? Yes. Now, under the current situation, could it mean more or could it be anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. But I'm just saying, in and of itself, please don't just take that information and run with it. Okay? Again, use critical thinking. But let's just stay here for a second. This is only going to get worse. I mean, I see in the news and you get these conflicting things, and a lot of times it's some people would say it's from the political sides of who and what they want you to believe and blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to stop. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to wake up tomorrow and they're going to be like, hey, yeah, the whole thing's over and we all join hands and sing kumbaya and life is good. That's more than that. I mean, is it possible? Sure, way out there, but is it probable? Probably no. So once again, get your life in order because this is only going to get worse. Yes? Yes. And a good place to start is basic emergency preparedness. Get your finances in order, get your mind in order, and realize that you're going to have to take care of yourself. Just like I'm going to keep plugging those people back in Ohio, they're having to take care of themselves. With that train thing, they're not getting a lot of help, guys. And you're not going to get a lot of help either, no matter what happens. Okay? Finite resources, the more people that are involved, the less you are getting, if you get any. So start emergency preparedness. You can go online. I have the checklist. I always show them. Emergency preparedness basics starting off. You can get it at .gov. And it's FEMA. Just start there. Start somewhere. Yes, even if it's just watching this old guy in the garage on these videos. Okay? So because it's going to get worse. There's no way. And it could stay the same. Like, I'm not saying it's getting worse like nuclear war or something. But the longer this conflict goes on, the more it's going to affect the world. Yes? Yes. Okay, now we're going to go to a big one, and then we're just going to talk about stuff that happens around here. Yes? Finish it off with things I'm doing and whatever. So the big one, again, and I think it has to do with the balloons, and people were talking about how they could be used for EMP, setting off nuclear weapons, and people are getting all into this whole EMP thing. Okay, you might want to go back and read the reports the government's done on it. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. Like lots of man-made things or meteors crashing or whatever. It's huge. But so, and I saw a video and I've seen a few of them. It's like, can you survive a major EMP? You know, if a major EMP happens, can you survive? And something along those lines. I don't know if you guys seen the headlines, but yeah, I have. So I'm going to give it to you short, and then I'll give you, what is it, bottom line up front? I think they call it bluff, bottom line up front. I'll give that to you, and then we can go over a few things. How's that? So can you survive if there's a major EMP in the United States? The short answer is no. Now, I'm sure somebody just said, wow, Rick, that was pretty rough, and, you know, I'm going to survive, and this, that, and no, go with the odds. You're probably not going to survive. So if I'm not mistaken, if you go back and read, it's like 70 and 90% of everyone in the United States is going to die within the first year. And, well, that's not going to happen to me. And okay, I don't know. I'm probably going to die. You know, a lot of people are going to die because we are so far, not mentally or emotionally, trust me, but intellectually, we are so far away from 17th century or going out there and, you know, being able to kill stuff and wear the furs, and because basically the dark ages, that's where we'd be if there was an EMP. Yes? Not trying to be a jerk, that's just the way it is. And I got some numbers here, the short ones. I could go into it. Boom, 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 why everybody's going to die. But I'm going to give you a really quick one that everybody can understand. How's that sound? Yes? Yes. So a couple quick numbers. It takes it depends, but it's 5 to 10 acres of land that has adequate rain, soil, and you are able to work it. You're going to have to do it probably by hand if there's a massive EMP. 5 to 10 acres for one person to raise enough food to put away to store for winter. You guys with me so far? And let's go with adequate rain and soil. I read a report that says like the United States hardly has any topsoil left because we don't maintain it. We're tearing it up. And I mean, adequate soil, 5 to 10 acres per person that you have to work by hand. Yes? Right now, it takes 3.5 acres per person with modern technology. That's with the chemical fertilizers and the GMO and the big tractors, and you see what I'm saying? And all that's gone. So all you have to do is ask yourself, can you work 5 to 10 acres of land? Let's get the seeds, have the tools, adequate rain because there's no irrigation going on, adequate soil. Go out back in your backyard or wherever you think you're going to grow this and dig up a little soil and see if it's like, oh, this is awesome. Look at the worms. And this is, yeah, it's not going to. So anybody who thinks I'm going to survive this thing, and you may, but the odds are about like this. Tell me you can raise that much food. Tell me you have that. Tell me you know how to can it, preserve it, and whatever for the winter. And yeah, per person. You guys with me on this one? Yeah, probably not going to happen. So it's a very simple answer. Yes. Yes. Now I know that sounds terrible, but there's a kind of a point to this. Okay. Yes. I chalk this up to like a meteor. Okay. If a meteor comes crashing down, I'm not going to survive it. So I don't think about it. So I don't really think about a massive EMP that's going to take out the power in the United States, because I've looked at it. If it was to blow all their transformers and stuff that we don't make here, that are huge and they have to be moved by, it's just not going to happen. It's going to take years. It's going to take decades. If no one's like, everybody's killing each other and being invaded, you see what I'm saying? Which is human nature. So I don't think about it. There's no reason to. Just like I don't look up every night and I don't look for an asteroid to come and friggin' crash on my house, because I'm not going to survive that either. You with me? So emergency preparedness, and then basically where it starts off is you deal with what you can. Yes? Yes. And we're going to kind of end these, and then we're going to go on. And that is, get away from the fear. Fear sells. When it comes to the EMP thing, and when it comes to people saying your bug out bags are bad, and when it comes to the balloons and the rock and the snap, it's all just fear. All right? A lot of it is fear. But when something actually, and people get distracted by it, when something actually happens, that train crash, those chemicals, that's a terrible thing. And it's going to continue being a terrible thing. That's real. That's something people have to deal with. So stay away from the fear, because there's enough bad things going on. You don't need the static and the made up stuff to make things worse. Yes? Yes. Okay, let's finish up around here. It is still cold. And again, it's not, I can't work outside. I can't do any, I've seen other content creators and they're already like, man, I'm getting out there, even though it's a little cold, and they're starting to work their stuff. My stuff's frozen. I've got like, I have a gate over here, and some days I'll go out and the gate won't open because I have those little walking stones, and it's like permafrost underneath is moving it because the ground's wet and it freezes and thaws. It's just crazy here. So that's not happening. But I'll tell you what I did do is I made pita bread. And if you use old yeast and you don't get it to fluff enough, then it actually turns into flatbread. So I actually had 50-50. I was using some really old yeast just to try to get rid of it. And I was like, you know what? If I fail, it's flatbread anyways. So, I mean, no waste. But I'd never done it before. And this is what I try to get you guys to do, is think something you've never done. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to. And so I did. Yes? Yes. Learn how to cook. Learn how to bake. Okay? And I'll go over it again. Soups and breads. And I'm talking about the whole, from soups, from thin broths all the way up to stews, and bread, from regular bread and sourdough bread and flatbreads and pita breads and tortilla, whatever. Okay, please learn how to cook, and then you can spread it out. I do desserts and stuff. I do cookies. I like it. The point being is, people do not know how to feed themselves. And I don't mean taking a fork and sticking it in your mouth. I mean making food. People don't know how to do it. I highly recommend you do, because if you want to survive all the way up EMP, you're going to need to learn how to cook food. Yes? Yes. All right, this video, again, is almost always too long. So I just want to say, hey to everybody, if you're coming back, welcome back. If you're new here, hey, what's going on? So to sign off, I hope this finds you well. I hope you are happy. I hope you are positive, and I hope for everything, to include that EMP, you are being prepared.